talk about the process of solving equations for x, and that's where we're at now. So the whole goal is to wind up with an equal sign with the x on one side by itself and everything else on the other side. That's the ultimate goal, is on solving an equation for x. And so there's a whole lot of ways to approach it. I'm going to give you just some ideas here to kind of help you out. Before you even start trying to solve, one thing I would recommend you do is anywhere you see a letter by itself, you put a 1 in front of it. So for instance, right here, it's negative. Make that a -1 right there. Anything a letter by itself, and put one over here in front of this x as well. I just think students have less confusion if they recognize there's a number in front of every letter. So should we put a 1 here in front of this x and a 1 here in front of this x? I think it's a good idea. Doesn't have to, but people have more success when they do that. The second thing I see gives students a bunch is this minus and negative. Anywhere you see that thing, go ahead and make it a positive right now. You used to have a teacher in middle school who talked about flick, flick. Is that something new for you guys, or have you heard that before? Heard it last year? The idea is you have a minus and negative. Those are going to combine to make a positive, an addition problem. Okay, minus and negative is an addition problem. So he's going to flick, flick those guys. And now this problem is prepared for us. You look down here below on step 2, you can see that I've got a plus sign here instead of a minus and negative. I've got a 1 here in front of this x. I should have had a 1 here in front of this x. I didn't put it there, so I'm going to put a 1 there as well. Your next step you want to do is to distribute, like we've been doing for the last couple of days. We want those parentheses to go away, because it's going to make our solving life easier if we do that. So if I distribute, Corbin, what am I going to get right here? Wait, 4 what? 4x. Chipper, what else am I going to get here?
Plus 2.
Plus what?
4.
Plus 4, exactly right. That 2 has to go to everything in there. You've got to distribute it all the way through. Maya, what do we get right here? 2x. 2 times 1 is 2x. And then Layla, what do we get right here? Plus 14. Okay. Perry, what am I going to get right here, this first term, on the right side? Minus 1/2x. Negative 1/2x. Sienna, what else am I going to get right there? And 1/2 times 6. Sienna, what am I going to get right there? Plus 3. Exactly right. Okay. Is there any other distribution I can do, Francisco? Distribution. Any other distribution I can do? Any other parenthesis with a number outside of it? I'm done with that step. That's what I'm looking for. Anywhere I see a parenthesis and a number outside of it, distribute it. Okay? I want the parenthesis to go away. Now I'm just left with a whole bunch of terms. I'm going to write them all out here. And write them out in a different color over here. Plus a negative is another place where flick, flick might, plus a negative or minus 6, any way you want to think about it, it's fine. Okay? All right. So that's the end of step 2. The equation is now prepared. The whole goal of these first 2 steps is to prepare the equation. It's now ready to solve. And the whole goal is to get all the x's on one side and everything else on the other. And just as a starting point, I recommend x's always go this to the left unless you're good at solving. If you're good at solving, take them either way. If you struggle with this, just be consistent. Always take x's to the left. So, on step 3 right here, I'm going to draw this vertical bar on the equal sign. Yes, ma'am.
Which one is it?
115.
Okay.
This video is going to be posted so you can watch it tonight, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to draw a vertical bar on the equal sign. And my goal was to get x's left and numbers right. Now, in middle school, they probably taught you to subtract 2x from both sides. And that's an awesome way to do it. Some people struggle with that idea. Another idea is this. I want x's on the left-hand side, correct? I talk about the idea of movement all the time because people who struggle with this, a lot of times understand the idea of movement. I want to physically grab the 2x on the right-hand side, and I'm going to drag it and put it over here on the left-hand side. There's only one rule. Whatever sign it was here, it's the opposite sign over there. Whichever way makes sense to you is fine. The whole point is there's no x's on the right-hand side anymore. It's gone. It's on the left. And now I have 4 minus 2x, which is 2x. That's what we have now. Let's write that down, please. 2x plus 4 equals to 14. On the right-hand side, same exact thing's going to happen here. I want to take the x's to the left. I have one of those. I can either subtract 1 from both sides, or I can pick this 1x up, drag it over here, and subtract it. You may need a calculator for this one. Feel free to grab one if you don't have one. I want to do negative 1/2 x minus 1x. Type in your calculator. What's a negative half minus 1? Negative 1/2 minus 1. Negative 1.5, right? Math fraction. Learn this keystroke right now. The math button is right here. Left side, right with the green button, math fraction. Type it in. You have to enter twice, and it turns into a fraction for you. Negative 3/2. If we start out with fractions, we're going to stay in fractions through the entire problem. So that's a negative 3/2 x. Sorry, it's hard to read. Plus 4 equals to negative 2. Does that make sense so far? I'm taking x's to the left-hand side. If I'm taking x to the left, that means I'm going to take everything else to the right. So I've got the 2x plus 4 here. That means this 4 needs to come to the right. There's only one rule. What is it? The plus sign here.
So it's negative.
It's going to be a minus sign here. Right? Negative or minus, how do you want to think about it? Minus 14 or minus 4. So that's going to be 2x stays over here. Equal to 14 minus 4. What is 14 minus 4? 10. Over here, I'm going to write this so it's the same as up here. I have negative 3/2 x plus 4 equals to negative 2. Right there. Okay? So the 4 is going to come across the equal sign. Same rule. I need to subtract. So negative 4 minus, or sorry, negative 2 minus 4?
6.
Negative 6. Negative 6. Okay. So negative 3/2 x equals to negative 6 right there. Okay. All right, down here, the last step. 2x equal to 10. My last step is always going to be the division step. All right? I'm going to divide, or I'm going to cross multiply, one of the two. So here, there's no fractions. I'm going to divide both sides by 2.
5.
X equal to 5, right? 1x. 2 divided by 2 is 1. X comes down, the equal sign comes down, 10 divided by 2 is 5. If you just want to write x equal to 5, you can do that too. I'm fine with either one. Over here, I have a fraction. What you want to do on this is put a 1 under this, a different color right there. Put a 1 under here. So we have a fraction on both sides. Then it becomes a middle school cross multiply problem. You guys did a lot of proportions, I think, last year, didn't you? Saw the cross multiplying or no? Is this new for you guys? Cross multiplying? No, you've done it or no, you haven't? Okay, all right. And so we're going to have a 1 times the 3. So that's a negative 3. The x stays where he is right now. And a 2 times a negative 6, which is a negative 12 on the right-hand side. And then I can divide. Just one extra step. Then I can divide both sides by negative 3, which is going to be x equal to 4. I noticed a while ago I skipped a step up here. I just want to point it out to you. The way I got from here to here was to combine like terms. What is 4x minus 2x? That's a 1x right there. What is 4 minus 6? Negative 2. So that's where this came from. 3 minus 2 was 1x minus 2. That's how we got to this from here to here. So I missed that one. Sorry about that. Okay.